Well, John, we're going to do the mailboat run this afternoon.
In ideal conditions, Liz.
In ideal conditions?
Ideal
conditions. Well, look at the conditions. It's a bit wet, it's a bit overcast.
Forecast is for it to lift a bit this afternoon, so
We'll see.
see what happens.
Yep. That's what it looks like at the moment.
After a lazy morning, we headed to the jetty to catch the mailboat on its run up through Queen Charlotte Sound. The mail has been delivered by boat for 150 years, which makes it quite a unique and interesting tour, delivering the rural post bags, groceries and freight to the residents that call Queen Charlotte Sound waterways home. The service operates Monday to Saturday, and no one day is the same, as the route changes daily, covering a different area and has its own highlights. It is also used by hikers and mountain bike riders to move around the sound. They can jump on and off at different locations, maximising their allowable time. Whilst the trip will cover some of the places that we visited on the conference cruise, I have been told that it's an experience that shouldn't be missed. As the boat gets close to a destination, the local dogs start to carry on, letting the owners know that the mail is not far away. And of course, there is a treat for the dog.
Well, here we are at Blackwood Bay.
Then it's off to the next one.
And salmon farms as regal salmon, New Zealand king salmon, Southern Ocean salmon, and Kora king. Those four product names are what comes from the 9 farms in the Marlborough Sounds. We're at about 30 odd metres of water. The nets will go down about 28 metres. There's a buffer zone. They never allow them to touch the bottom. They have this underwater, nowadays they have this underwater it's kind of like your pool sucker. You know, it goes around the bottom of your pool and sucks up all the nasty stuff down there. It's like a little vacuum cleaner under the floor of the farm, and it sucks up all the excrement of the fish and all the excess.
Particular mussel. You know, especially Kiwis, we need to stop calling them green lip mussel. There's no such thing as a green lip mussel. It's a made-up word. The trademarked, registered, protected industry name is green shell. You know, we've learned our lesson from the kiwi fruit. We've trademarked and protected that name, and then we go and shoot ourselves in the foot by calling it the nickname that was introduced in the early 80s. 1971, the industry was born, and there were 4 families. There was mum and dad, my mother and father. There was a gentleman called Rob Pauley and his wife Karen. Another guy called Peter Yellings, who had, I guess, made his name more well known in the wine industry, Yellings Estate. And Mum's brother, Kevin Bonington, and his wife Sue, my uncle and aunties.
$1,000 a night for everything. You'd hardly know it was there. Oh yeah, look at them. Wow. So they're blue cod.
Okay, guys, watch this.
Here we go. Watch this.
Here we go.
Oh, there's the blue cod, the big one. What are the little ones? Wow.
That didn't last long, did it?
And they're looking for more.
We're looking at yellow-eyed mullet, the ones that are, we're looking here, the yellow-eyed mullet.
They are, and actually they're a bird, if you want to go pick them up, and they can take them.
Well, thanks Skipper for the very informative narration of the area and a great day. Then we point the nose south and hightail it back to Picton. We woke this morning to a pretty bloody ordinary day. It had been raining all night with strong winds. You see, we were booked to do a whale watching trip at Kaikuya, which is 155 k's or a 2-hour drive from Picton. We tried to contact the company, but the office doesn't open until 9:30, which would not leave us enough time to then travel. The web page indicated that the boats would leave, however, the disclaimer is left to the skipper's discretion up to half an hour before the sailing time to pull the pin. So we headed off. The conditions were atrocious, but we took our time and travelled to the conditions.
As you can see, it's a bit ordinary.
We jumped on a bus that took us down to the jetty. We boarded the boat and headed out. As it was, they did sail, but with a warning that the conditions would most likely make you seasick if you were that way inclined. In fact, they had just about talked everybody into being sick before we even got on board. Well, this should be fun. A safety briefing was first, followed by a video. So if you didn't already feel a bit ordinary, you will now.
Subtropical and tropical waters, places very close to the equator line. The females, if it's too cold for them, then it's far too cold for the young, so they stay in those warmer areas.
It didn't take long before the first one started and then the others joined in. Woohoo! This is still going to be fun, I'm thinking.
Look, over there. Saw something? Bird just went bird.
They were using a sounding device to try and locate the whales, but without any luck. We were about to turn and head for home when there was a sighting in front of the boat. The skipper manoeuvred the boat into position, then we were permitted to head outside for some photos. This part of the South Island is one of the only places in the world where you can easily see sperm whales all year round, and that's what we're hoping for. Sperm whales, the largest of the toothed whales, grow to over 15 metres in length and they deep dive in the ocean to feed. Whales thrive close to Kikuyu because of the unusual submarine landscape. The continental shelf drops quickly into a number of extremely deep underwater canyons. In addition, a warm current from the north meets a cold one from the south. This causes nutrients from deep within the ocean to be carried upward, a phenomenon that helps to support all types of marine life, from plankton and krill to dolphins and whales.
Here we are on the whale watching boat. As you can see, the weather's not all that good, although we did see a whale. Hopefully I've got it on camera. At the moment we're looking for some dolphins. Over there. There you go. There's something over there. There we go. Okay.
So there's a couple of the dusky dolphins.
Ah.
On the way back, we stopped at some rocks just outside the barway and were entertained by some seals frolicking in the wash from the breaking waves. Safely arriving back on, I was going to say dry land, but that would not be right. We gave ourselves a little time for the equilibrium to sort itself out. Then we started making our way back to Picton. It wasn't long before the first of a couple of photo opportunities appeared. You see, there was a colony of New Zealand fur seals just off the road. We could have watched these guys interact with each other all day. Just amazing. These seals are medium-sized with long white whiskers and dark tanned ears. The females are a metallic on the back, paler underneath with a brown belly. Males have dark grey-brown dorsal fur and a pale muzzle, a pointed snout and a thick mane of long guard hair. Males are much larger than females and around 3 times heavier. Their habitat is around rocky coastline and offshore islands characterised by large, jumbled, angled rocks, boulder-strewn beaches, smooth rock platforms and some vegetated areas, so a real mixture about where they live. One thinks that there's a little bit of a hierarchical fight going on. Or he just made the pool his own. After travelling for about 20 minutes, we wanted to stop and have a look at this black sand. And by the way, it's just topped its high of 8 degrees, for those that are interested. Finding a spot off the road, we stumbled across this sea lion laying on the warmish sand. At first, we didn't know whether he was dead or alive, but as we approached, he soon let us know that he was well and truly alive. Obviously, keeping some distance, we sussed this guy out.
I just want to come past and see what this is doing. Can I see you? Come on, get up. Okay. I won't get too close.
Do that again? He decided he was going to be a photo hog and proceeded to pose and stretch for us. How lucky were we? Oh, you show off. Yeah, look at you. Oh. Oh. Time to go back to the ocean. Oh, good boy. From what I could find out, on the South Island's west coast, black sand beaches such as this have successfully been mined for gold. The sands also contain other heavy metals eroded from the Southern Alps and concentrated on beaches through wave action. In the North Island, the black sands are derived from volcanic rocks and dominate some of the 750 kilometre shoreline. Auckland's black sands are mined and smelted into iron. Well, we're just showing off a little bit of this coastline because when we came down this morning, it was horrendous. It really was an adventure. It was raining. We were a little concerned that potentially the road could be closed because it's just odd. It's just like a Queensland rain. It was hammering there for a good, nearly all the trip. And when we got into Kaikoura, we asked them and they said the chances of it closing not impossible, but pretty slim. And the forecast was that it was going to lighten up after lunch, which it looks like it has. So we couldn't really shoot much footage this morning coming down. A, it was 6 o'clock, it was still dark, and B, you wouldn't have seen anything at any rate. So here we are. So we just thought we'd show you a little bit of it. The sun's trying to peek through, but no, it's been awesome. We had a great ride on the boat. Again, we were concerned. They ummed and ahed, and they said, yeah, they were going. It was supposed to be 30 knots, 3 metre seas. And we're like, wow, this will be fun. Not. But it wasn't that bad. You know, it was probably, 45 or 48 people on the boat. 26 of them were throwing up. Not me. Got close, but not me. And the problem was they made you sit down in seats and shut the doors, and it just wasn't a really inspiring environment for a little while. But when they were basically about to pull the pin and head home, and then they found a whale. So we've got some footage that we can overlay on that if we go that way. So all in all, today's been, different. Again, we come from cliffs and valleys. When we came towards the coast,
it's all farmland, it's all green, rolling hills. Just, you know, I guess it's just a land full of completely different environments. Completely different environments. Just, you know, I guess that's one of the great things about the place is that you don't have to travel all that far to immerse yourself in numerous different environments. So, anyway, that's enough for me. We're heading on our way back to Picton. We'll get in about a bit after 4 or something this afternoon. So, unless it's anything advantageous or adventurous that happens, probably see you tomorrow. Cheers.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Be free. Be free with me. Be free. Not looking back. Eyes on the freeway. Bonnie and Clyde. That classic cliche.
We were quickly running out of days, and with the Aviation Museum in Blenheim high on our agenda, we spent most of our last day here. The history, the stories and the scenes that have been set up really do have to be seen to be believed. There is an audio and visual presentation that literally blows you away. So we'll show you some of what to expect when visiting. This is an amazing museum. When you look at the way that they've set it up, they're not just aeroplanes in a row. They've got some pretty cool stuff in here. In flight, mannequins done up in uniforms. Looks quite surreal and quite real. Yeah, very good. Well done, NZ. This is awesome. And the fact that you're able to share it is even better. See that bloke there? He's looking at this, and he's going, "How did you get it in there?" Yeah, that's exactly what he said. Like I said, this is so authentic. This is just bloody amazing. Look at that. Now these plaques over here, they just look so authentic. Fixing the machine guns.
plane still actually flies.
Well guys, while we've shown you a little bit of this museum, ultimately you really need, if ever you're in Blenheim in New Zealand, you really need to come and check this place out. This is probably one of the best displays of stuff I've ever seen.
Look at that. What do we got?
So we've got the macadamia butter toffee crunch and an orange cream truffle.
Beautiful. Thank you. Well,
Love all over again. Jockey lad. Sorry about that, guys. We just it was that bloody cold. We thought we'd jump in the car and wind us Overland Australia adventures, or Overland Australia adventuring in New Zealand. We'd bring it to a bit of a close. So we've just left the chocolate factory, as you see, and now it's just pack up and head back to Oz. So we hope you've enjoyed this episode. We've seen some amazing stuff. Something just a little bit different. Hey, Liz.
Yes. Oh, look, it was different experience. It's a bit like being back in Tassie. Cold weather, rain, chilly, but it has been a very enjoyable experience, and would love to come back to New Zealand and
At some point, yeah.
At some point and do some more exploring. But for now, it's back to Oz and continue our travels. Catch you all later.
See you guys.
Bye.